We have this explosion, and it sounds really distant and boomy. And that might be exactly what you want for a particular scene, but for the sake of over-the-top demonstration, let's see how we can make this sound a lot more tight and upfront. In fairness, I acknowledge this is now a radically different sound than before. It's not true to what it was. Again, we're going super extreme for demonstration purposes, but you could take any of these principles and apply them like 5% rather than 1,000 like I'm doing here. It's more just to give you a ton of different ideas you can use to get the sound you're after. The first thing we have is the Bertom denoiser, which works on downward expansion. Basically stuff that falls below a threshold gets pulled down even more, so this is great for mitigating super drawn out tails. It's fun to automate the bands and let just the front of the sound through and then gradually clamp down on the tail. And it's multiband, so you could even just remove some of the sustain from the low end, but leave the higher stuff to ring out. Next, we're using a simple tilt EQ to skew some of the energy away from the lows and into the highs. Then I'm using an envelope for overall sound, just sculpting it and giving it some definition. The attack is more pronounced, and the whole thing is just much shorter and snappier without the super drawn out tail. Long tails aren't inherently bad, but it's good to be really mindful of how they could be cluttering a dense mix and eating up real estate by overstaying their welcome. Get out of here! Notice that these moves make the sound feel a lot closer to the listener and more defined. And look, I'll admit this level of supernatural tightness is very much a stylistic choice and not appropriate for every design. It's almost cartoonish in its exactness. It's affected, but it's a sound I really like in a certain context.